Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, coin enthusiasts and collectors. Today, we're about to take a deep dive into one of the most iconic and valuable coins in American history, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is a cherished piece of U.S. currency, beloved by collectors for its design and historical significance. But what makes the 1944 version so special? How did it go from just another penny in circulation to a sought-after treasure that can bring you thousands of dollars? Stick around until the end of this video, because the price of a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny might just shock you. Let's start with some background on the Lincoln Wheat Penny. First issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin became an immediate hit with the public. The coin was designed by renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose likeness of Lincoln on the obverse of the coin became one of the most recognized portraits in numismatic history. On the reverse, we find the classic wheat stalks, which led to the coin's nickname, the Wheat Penny. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during a time of immense historical importance. World War II was raging across the globe, and the United States was deeply involved in the war effort. This period was marked by a need for metal for military use, which led to significant changes in coin production. Before 1943, pennies were made from copper, but due to copper shortages during the war, the U.S. Mint switched to a steel composition for the 1943 pennies. However, by 1944, the U.S. government had switched back to using copper for the pennies, making the 1944 coin a significant marker of this transitional period. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is also notable for its design. The obverse still bears the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, with the date, 1944, inscribed beneath his bust, and the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," surrounding him. The reverse, as with previous wheat pennies, showcases two stalks of wheat that frame the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. The wheat motif was chosen to symbolize the country's agricultural heritage, which was vital during the war years. Now, when it comes to the value of a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, there are a few factors that come into play. Most of the pennies from this year were produced in large quantities and circulated heavily. As a result, many of them are worn, damaged, or have other imperfections that significantly decrease their value. But just because most 1944 wheat pennies aren't worth much, doesn't mean there aren't exceptions. In fact, if you have a well-preserved or unique example of this penny, it could be worth far more than its face value. The first thing collectors look for in a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its condition. A coin's condition, or grade, plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. A 1944 penny in circulated condition may only be worth a few cents, but an uncirculated or near-perfect example can fetch much more. Coins in mint condition, with sharp details, no visible wear, and an overall pristine look, are highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to have a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny that is in mint condition, you might be sitting on a valuable treasure. Another important factor in determining the value of a 1944 penny is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint has several locations that produce coins, and each coin is stamped with a mint mark indicating where it was made. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark, so these coins are often referred to simply as 1944 pennies. The Denver Mint used a D mint mark, while the San Francisco Mint used an S mint mark. The mint marks on the 1944 pennies can have a significant impact on their value. Generally speaking, coins minted in Denver and San Francisco are slightly rarer than their Philadelphia counterparts, so they can be worth a little more, especially if they are in excellent condition. But there's one particular 1944 penny with a mint mark that stands out even more than the others, a coin that has collectors buzzing with excitement. We're talking about the famous 1944 steel penny. Yes, you heard that right. Although 1943 saw the production of steel pennies due to the copper shortage, a small number of 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel planchets from the previous year. These steel pennies are extremely rare, and they can fetch a premium price at auction. If you happen to have a 1944 penny that is made from steel instead of copper, you could be holding a coin that is worth a significant amount of money. In fact, a single 1944 steel penny in good condition could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on its grade and rarity. Let's talk about how much these coins can actually be worth. While most 1944 Lincoln Wheat pennies are worth just a few cents, those in excellent condition can be worth much more. In fact, uncirculated 1944 pennies with high grades can easily sell for hundreds of dollars. But what about those rare and valuable 1944 steel pennies? The price of a 1944 steel penny in mint condition can range from thousands of dollars to even more, depending on how rare and well-preserved the coin is. So, how much can you expect to get for a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny? The answer really depends on the coin's condition, mint mark, and whether it's one of the rare steel errors. If you have a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny in perfect condition, especially one with a rare mint mark, or if it's a steel error coin, it could be worth an impressive sum. In fact, a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with a rare mint mark, a high grade, or a steel error can be worth as much as $85,000. That's right, $85,000 for a single penny. This price reflects the rarity and high demand for these special coins among collectors. If you have a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny that fits the bill, you could be looking at a significant payday. But even if your coin isn't quite worth this much, it's always a good idea to have your collection appraised by a professional to ensure you're not overlooking something valuable. Before you go rushing to your coin jar, it's important to note that finding a 1944 penny in excellent condition, or one with a rare mint mark or steel error, isn't easy. These coins are hard to come by, and they've become highly prized in the world of numismatics. However, if you do find one of these rare pennies, it's certainly worth holding on to or even getting it professionally graded to ensure you get the most value out of it. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny. This little gem from the United States has a rich history and could be worth a lot more than its face value. So, what makes this penny so special? And why could a 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny be worth up to $80,000? Stick with me until the end of the video, and we'll explore the potential hidden value of this seemingly humble coin. First, let's take a trip back in time to 1949. This was a year marked by significant events in American history. It was just a few years after the end of World War II, and the United States was beginning to enter a period of economic prosperity known as the post-war boom. The 1940s were a time of rebuilding, both for the country and its economy. The Lincoln Wheat penny, which had been in circulation since 1909, was still a central part of daily transactions. The coin was first introduced as part of the United States' efforts to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. These wheat ears framed the words, 1 cent, with United States of America, and E pluribus unum also inscribed. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of the series that was minted from 1909 until 1958. During this period, the design of the penny remained largely unchanged, making it a recognizable and iconic coin for American collectors. In 1949, the Lincoln Wheat penny was still widely in circulation, and millions of these coins were produced by the U.S. Mint. Now, you may be wondering, what makes the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny so valuable? While many pennies from this year may only be worth a few cents in their worn condition, there are some key factors that can cause a 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny to skyrocket in value. One of the biggest factors is the condition, or grade, of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. This is a perfect, flawless coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A coin that has been kept in excellent condition, with minimal wear, sharp details, and a good finish, will fetch a much higher price than one that has been heavily circulated. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced in large quantities, so the condition of the coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value. In fact, most of the 1949 pennies that have been in circulation for decades have suffered significant wear and tear. These coins typically have flat details, scratches, and discoloration due to years of handling, which makes them worth only a few cents to collectors. But the real treasure lies in finding one of these pennies in exceptional condition, such as one that has remained uncirculated since the day it was minted. Uncirculated 1949 Lincoln Wheat Pennies are rare and highly coveted by collectors. These coins have been well preserved, with all of their details sharp and clear, and the finish intact. If you happen to come across a well-preserved example of the 1949 penny, especially one that's in mint condition, you could be holding a coin worth much more than just 1 cent. But there's another key factor that can influence the value of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny: the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produces coins at several locations across the country, and each location has its own mint mark, which indicates where the coin was produced. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The majority of 1949 pennies were produced in Philadelphia, and these coins do not have a mint mark. However, coins minted in Denver have a D mint mark, and those minted in San Francisco carry an S mint mark. Generally, coins with mint marks are somewhat rarer than those produced in Philadelphia, so they can be worth a little more. Of course, the condition of the coin is still the most important factor, but finding a 1949 penny with a D or S mint mark, especially in excellent condition, is more likely to command a higher price. Now, let's take a look at what makes a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny really stand out: the potential for unique errors or variations that can significantly increase its value. Coin collectors love to find coins with minting mistakes or anomalies, because these coins are often considered rare, and rarity equals value. Some of the errors that can occur during the minting process include off-center strikes, double dies, or coins with incorrect metal composition. For example, a 1949 penny with a double die error, where the design appears twice, slightly offset, can be extremely valuable. A double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once, and the design is misaligned on the second strike. This type of error is one of the most sought after by collectors and can make a 1949 penny worth significantly more. Similarly, if you happen to come across a 1949 penny with an off-center strike, where the design is misaligned and part of the coin's surface is blank, this could be another valuable error that collectors would pay a premium for. Finding a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny with one of these rare errors could turn your coin into a small fortune. It's important to note that these error coins are incredibly rare, but if you do manage to find one, it could easily command a high price in the market. A 1949 penny with a unique minting error can be worth thousands of dollars, especially if the coin is in excellent condition. So, what exactly is the value of a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny? Most of these coins in circulated condition are worth only a few cents. However, as we've discussed, if you find a 1949 penny in uncirculated or mint condition, especially one with a rare mint mark or an error, you could be holding a coin worth a significant amount of money. The highest value for a well-preserved, error-free 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny can be upwards of $80,000. Yes, you read that right, $80,000 for a single penny. This is the price collectors are willing to pay for a coin that is in pristine condition and is considered a rare find. The market for rare and high-quality coins is booming, and collectors are always on the lookout for pennies like these. To wrap things up, if you're a coin collector, or if you simply enjoy searching through your pocket change, keep your eyes peeled for the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Whether it's a well-preserved. Today, we're diving into the world of rare U.S. coins with a special focus on the iconic 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This coin may seem like just another penny in your collection, but there's much more to it than meets the eye. With the right conditions, this coin could be worth a lot more than its face value. How much exactly? Well, keep watching, and by the end of this video, you'll discover that this unassuming 1-cent piece could be worth as much as $70,000, before we get into the nitty-gritty of its value, let's first understand the historical context behind the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. In the 1950s, the United States was in the midst of an economic boom. The country was recovering from the aftermath of World War II, and the 1950s were known for their cultural shifts, technological advances, and a sense of prosperity. This was a time when the American people were seeing rapid growth in their personal wealth, and with it, everyday life became more affordable, yet certain items like coins began to hold different values in the eyes of collectors. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, which was minted from 1909 to 1958, has long been a favorite of coin collectors. The coin features the image of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered U.S. presidents, on the obverse side, while the reverse showcases two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the agricultural heritage of America. It was an iconic design that remained in circulation for decades, with only slight modifications made over the years. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is particularly interesting because it was one of the last years that the wheat design appeared before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. So why is the 1957 penny so valuable, and what makes it a hidden treasure for collectors? Well, the value of a coin is determined by several factors, and this penny's value primarily depends on its condition, rarity, and any unique features it might have. Let's start by examining the most important factor, condition. If you happen to stumble upon a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny that's in pristine condition, you could be holding a small fortune. Most pennies, after decades of circulation, become worn down, with their details fading due to constant handling, contact with other coins, and the passage of time. But occasionally, a coin escapes this wear and tear, and you'll find one in exceptional condition. This is where the real value lies. The grading system for coins ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin, free from any flaws. Most 1957 pennies that have been in circulation will fall somewhere in the lower end of this scale. However, if you come across one that's in mint state, meaning it's in almost perfect, uncirculated condition, then you're in for a treat. These coins are highly sought after, and their value can soar to impressive amounts. A 1957 penny in uncirculated condition can be worth much more than a typical 1-cent piece, making it a top prize for collectors. And if it's a proof coin, a coin specially made for collectors and struck with a polished die, you could see even higher values. But condition is not the only factor that drives the value of a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Rarity plays a big role as well. While millions of these coins were minted in 1957, most of them were circulated widely in daily transactions, meaning they're not considered rare today. However, there are specific variants and characteristics that can make certain 1957 pennies much rarer and therefore more valuable. One key feature that collectors look for is the mint mark. In 1957, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at multiple locations, including the Philadelphia Mint, which typically didn't use a mint mark, as well as the Denver and San Francisco Mints, which used D and S mint marks, respectively. If you happen to find a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny with an S mint mark, indicating it was minted in San Francisco, you could be holding a much rarer coin. San Francisco-produced coins are generally less common, and that rarity adds a premium to their price. In fact, 1957 pennies minted in San Francisco tend to be worth more than those minted in Philadelphia, especially if they're in uncirculated condition. While these variations are subtle, they can significantly impact the value of the coin. But what about the coins with errors? Error coins are like the holy grail for collectors, and they're a major factor in determining a coin's worth. A 1957 penny with a minting error can see its value soar, especially if it's a rare mistake that only a few coins carry. Common errors include double dies, where the design is struck twice and overlaps, and off-center strikes, where the coin's design isn't aligned properly. These errors make the coin unique, and the rarity of these imperfections is what drives demand and drives up the price. Some other types of errors include coins with missing letters, misaligned designs, or coins struck on wrong planchets, blanks. If you find a 1957 penny that has one of these errors, it could easily be worth a significant amount more than its standard counterparts, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the mistake. If you're lucky enough to find a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny with an error in excellent condition, you could be holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now, what is the actual worth of a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny in today's market? You may have noticed that rare, high-grade coins often sell for much more than the price you might expect. With its age, historical significance, and potential for errors, the value of a 1957 penny can vary widely. However, in uncirculated condition or with a rare mint mark, the value can easily reach impressive sums. To give you an example, a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny in pristine condition could be worth a surprising $70,000. That's right, $70,000 for a single penny. This is a rare scenario, but it's entirely possible if the coin is in perfect, uncirculated condition and has a special mint mark or error. Keep in mind that not every 1957 penny will be worth this much, only those in exceptional condition with the right features or rare characteristics. So, the next time you come across a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't just toss it aside thinking it's just another coin. Take a closer look. Is it in uncirculated condition? Does it have a mint mark? Could there be a rare error or variation that makes it a hidden treasure? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey into the world of coins, finding a 1957 penny could be the beginning of a valuable discovery. Today, we're focusing on a classic piece of American history, the 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This small coin may seem unremarkable at first glance, but for collectors and numismatists alike, it holds a world of value and potential. If you're sitting on a 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny, you might just be holding something much more precious than you realize. Stick around, because we'll be revealing how this humble 1-cent coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $74,000. First, let's take a step back in time. The year is 1960. The United States is in the midst of a time of great change, culturally, socially, and politically. The country was seeing an economic boom, and the American public was filled with optimism. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, which had been in circulation since 1909, was a regular part of everyday transactions. It was a time when coins like these were used by people from all walks of life. Little did they know, some of these pennies would go on to become treasures worth far more than a mere penny. The 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny is particularly intriguing because it marks the final years of the classic wheat design. The design, which features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, back, was introduced in 1909 by the U.S. Mint. This design was meant to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and over the years, it became a beloved symbol of American history and heritage. In 1959, the U.S. Mint began transitioning to a new design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, but the 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains one of the last coins to carry the wheat motif, making it especially valuable for collectors who focus on this series. Now, let's talk about why the 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny is so special. Like many coins, its value depends heavily on a few key factors: condition, rarity, and any unique characteristics that might set it apart from the millions of others that were minted. The first and most important factor when determining the value of a coin is condition. Coins that have been in circulation for decades often show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, or fading of the design. However, not all coins suffer the same fate. Some are carefully preserved, tucked away in drawers or coin albums, and these specimens can remain in nearly pristine condition. Coins in excellent condition are highly sought after because they represent a piece of history that has been preserved for future generations. When it comes to the 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that has been well maintained and remains in mint condition can command a significantly higher price. Mint state coins are those that have no noticeable signs of wear, and their features remain sharp and clear. These uncirculated coins are rarer than the ones that have been handled over time, which makes them far more valuable in the marketplace. So, what does this mean for your 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny? If you happen to find one that is still in mint state, it could be worth far more than a typical penny. The difference between a coin in good condition and one in near-perfect condition is often the difference between a few dollars and several thousand. But condition isn't the only thing that makes this coin valuable. The mint mark on a coin is also extremely important when determining its worth. In 1960, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at multiple locations: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia typically don't have a mint mark, while coins minted in Denver are marked with a D, and coins minted in San Francisco carry an S mint mark. Of the three, coins from San Francisco, marked with the S, tend to be rarer and more valuable. So, if you have a 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny with an S mint mark, you've got a rare and highly desirable coin on your hands. But here's the catch: the minting process wasn't always perfect. Just like with any other coin, the U.S. Mint occasionally made mistakes during production. These errors, known as coin minting errors, can turn an ordinary coin into a sought-after collector's item. Minting errors can include a variety of issues, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or missing details. These errors are often one of a kind, making the coin incredibly rare and valuable. A 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a noticeable error could be worth far more than a perfectly minted version. One of the most common minting errors for pennies like the 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck twice by the dies, causing the image to appear blurry or doubled. Double die errors are extremely sought after by collectors because they're unique and add a distinct feature to the coin that no other coin has. If you're lucky enough to find a 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a double die error, it could drastically increase the value of the coin. In addition to minting errors, other factors that contribute to the coin's value include its rarity and demand. While millions of 1960 Lincoln Wheat Pennies were minted, not all have survived in good condition. As time passes and coins are lost, damaged, or melted down, the number of high-quality specimens dwindles. The rarer the coin, the more valuable it becomes. And because collectors actively seek out rare and well-preserved coins, demand for coins like the 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to rise. So, you might be wondering, just how much can a 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny be worth? In general, most 1960 pennies in average circulation condition will only fetch a few cents to $1. But when you find a mint state coin with an S mint mark, or a rare error coin, the value skyrockets. In fact, a 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny in excellent, uncirculated condition or with a rare mint mark could easily be worth several $1,000s, and in some cases, it could fetch as much as $74,000. That's right, a 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny could be worth $74,000, a staggering amount for a single 1-cent coin. It all depends on the condition of the coin, its rarity, and whether it has any special features like a minting error or a unique variation. The higher the quality and the rarer the characteristics, the more money you could potentially make from selling it. If you've recently come across a 1960 Lincoln Wheat Penny, or if you have one tucked away in your collection, now is the time to take a closer look. Don't just assume it's another regular penny, take the time to examine it carefully. Look for the mint mark, check the condition, and see if you can spot any signs of an error. If you're lucky enough to find a coin in mint condition, or with a rare error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Today's video, we're diving deep into a truly remarkable coin from the United States that may be hiding in your collection right now. That's right, today we are talking about the 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a mint mark. You may think that a penny is just, well, a penny. But believe it or not, this seemingly simple 1-cent coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. In fact, if you have a 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny in pristine condition, it could be worth $93,000. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around because we're going to walk through exactly why this coin could be worth so much and how you can tell if you've got a valuable one in your possession. Let's start with a little history lesson to get things rolling. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by the famous engraver Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a prominent portrait of a U.S. president. Over the years, this coin became a staple in American currency, seen in circulation by millions of Americans. But what makes the 1966 version stand out from the rest? The 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny was part of the final years that this classic design was in circulation. The design features the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" engraved around him, and 1966 marking the year of mintage. On the reverse side, you'll find the two stalks of wheat, a symbol of America's agricultural roots, flanking the words 1 cent. This coin remained in regular circulation until 1959, when the U.S. Mint introduced a new design featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. However, the 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny was one of the final editions of the wheat design, making it special and highly sought after among collectors. Now, what makes the 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny so valuable today? Well, much of its value is determined by its condition and rarity. You see, while the U.S. Mint produced millions of these pennies in 1966, the vast majority of them were heavily circulated and ended up in poor condition. Coins that are heavily worn, scratched, or damaged don't hold as much value. That's why finding one that is in mint condition, meaning it has been preserved with minimal wear and retains its original features, is a huge find for collectors. And if you happen to have a 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a substantial payday. Another factor that can significantly increase the value of a coin is its mint mark. The mint mark indicates where the coin was struck. In 1966, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at a few different facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, the Denver Mint, D, and the San Francisco Mint, S. The 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny from the San Francisco Mint, marked with the S mint mark, is the rarest and, in many cases, the most valuable. Although the 1966 pennies were minted in large numbers, those with the S mint mark are harder to find, which makes them particularly desirable among collectors. So, how much could a 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny be worth? Well, if your coin has been kept in near-perfect condition, especially one with an S mint mark, its value can be significantly higher than most other pennies. Coins like these can sell for anywhere from a few dollars to several thousand, depending on their condition and rarity. Now, let's talk about coin errors. Collectors are always on the lookout for minting errors, which can make a coin even rarer and more valuable. The U.S. Mint occasionally makes mistakes during the minting process, and these mistakes can turn an otherwise regular coin into a highly coveted treasure. Some of the most popular minting errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies. These types of errors create unique features that cannot be replicated, and they are highly sought after in the collector's market. If you happen to find a 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny with one of these rare minting errors, it could dramatically increase the coin's value. For example, a double die error, where the design is struck twice, creating a blurry or doubled appearance, is one of the most desirable errors for collectors. This type of error can easily make a coin worth thousands more than a standard version. Imagine stumbling across a 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a double die error and seeing its value skyrocket. Such a find could be a dream come true for any coin collector. In addition to minting errors, rarity is a key factor in determining a coin's value. While millions of 1966 Lincoln Wheat Pennies were produced, it's important to note that the number of these coins that remain in excellent condition or have unique characteristics is much smaller. The rarer the coin, the higher the demand, and the more valuable it becomes. That's why the 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny, with its combination of rarity, condition, and potential minting errors, is such an attractive option for collectors. So, what's the bottom line? What can you expect if you happen to have a 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your collection? Well, depending on the condition, mint mark, and any potential minting errors, the value of this coin can vary dramatically. In general, most 1966 Lincoln Wheat Pennies will be worth only a few cents to a few dollars, but if you find one in mint state, especially if it has the rare S mint mark or a unique error, you could be looking at a coin worth a staggering $93,000. That's right. If your 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny is in the best condition possible, or if it has a rare mint mark or minting error, it could fetch an incredible $93,000. So, before you dismiss your pennies as just spare change, take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasures are waiting to be uncovered in your collection. Thank you for joining us today as we explored the fascinating world of the 1966 Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our future content. Who knows what other rare and valuable coins you might find lurking in your collection? Until next time, happy collecting, and always keep an eye out for hidden gems.